Here's a stupid bug. This has to be the stupidest bug I've ever seen the game have. So let's start off with my wireless mouse. It's a Razer Mamba wireless, and its battery is about dead. The simple act of plugging this mouse in to charge is enough to crash Flight Sim 2020. But here's another kicker though. Let's say my Xbox One controller here is connected to the game and the battery dies and disconnects. The disconnecting of this controller is also enough to crash Flight Sim 2020. I've been able to reproduce both of these multiple times with consistency. So let's first start off with my Razer Mamba wireless. Again, the simple act of plugging in my wireless mouse is enough to crash the game. That type of a bug shouldn't even be a thing, especially if a game that's this freaking new. This bug should have been resolved prior to the beta releases that the beta people were playing. Unfortunately, I never got into those betas. The first time I ever got this game was full release as of today. Now, right now the mouse is over here. Mouse shows up, but then it goes away. Alright, so for some reason our mouse doesn't want, the actual mouse icon doesn't want to show up. So I have to click at least once. I just saw it, there it is. So right now the mouse is in full working order. But let's say I need to plug it into charge, which is actually something I need to do. Because prior to this video, this thing was in the red. As you can tell, the video stops. The music's still playing, but the game's completely frozen. Again, the simple act of plugging this mouse into charge is enough to crash Flight Sim 2020. Out of all the bugs I've encountered on my 29 years on this stupid dirt ball, this has to be the stupidest bug I've ever seen a game have. And like I said, I've been able to reproduce this consistently. But here's the kicker. I'll reload the game again, and I'll disconnect the mouse. I want you to take a wild guess of what will happen. There it goes, it crashed. It takes a little bit for it to fully crash out, but again, the simple act of plugging in my wireless mouse to charge is enough to crash this game. What a fucking joke. This is 343 Industries levels of bugs. I'll expect Halo MCC to do that. Because for those that don't know, 343 Industries are incompetent as all hell. Alright, so the mouse is showing up and working just fine. What happens when we unplug it? Don't tell me you just crashed. It crashed again! Now, the other few times I did this, the game just continued on like nothing happened. It crashing when I disconnect the wireless charging. Ugh. This... How is this a thing? How can this be a bug? I can't see how this could be a thing. Unless they somehow have Yondir Dev in the background working on this game, that's the only way I can see this bug being a thing. Sorry, I was messaging someone. So apparently now both the unplugging and plugging in for my mouse to charge is enough to crash the game. Now, why would I want to unplug it when I'm charging it? Well, let me show you how close my mouse is to my case. Yeah, as you can tell, this cable being there could be a problem for me whenever I'm actually gaming. I tend to charge the mouse at least when I go to bed, since my computer's power supply actually provides 5 volts to the USB ports. So normally I don't forget to charge it, but this is one of those times when I forgot to charge it prior to going to bed. But turns out it was a good thing, because I was able to shoot this video and basically show off a incredibly retarded bug. So, let's see what happens with my Xbox One controller. When I did this last night, if I remember I stated this properly, that I can connect it to the game just fine. But if it disconnects, it also crashes out the game. Now, of course, I have the little wireless dongle, so I can have this thing wirelessly connected to my computer. I do not have this through USB. I don't have this thing connected through the Bluetooth. I actually have that little dongle that you can get from Microsoft. So there we go with that. Let's connect my mouse. Actually, let me first do this. Okay, as you can tell, the video stopped for a brief second because this thing was connecting. But as you can tell, it connected just fine, and the game's still doing its job. I hit continue, and I can start the initialization process. So, what will happen when I disconnect it? Disconnecting my controller is enough to crash the game also, as you can tell. Again, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 crashes when a Microsoft Xbox One controller disconnects. Remember, these are both Microsoft Pacific products, and yet this disconnection of this crashes out the game. So, you can pretty much end this video here since it's gone past the 10-minute mark. But I want to try one more thing. I have an old flight stick I got from Goodwill. I'm going to see what happens when I plug that thing in. So, let's go and restart Flight Sim X again. Here's that old flight stick I was talking about. The only modification I did to this flight stick was remove the little thing right here that was blocking this. To constantly flip that up if I want to use this button. And this little lever here, so I can actually easily get to the throttles instead of just having them, instead of constantly being like this with the throttles. I can have my one hand here and have the other hand here. It's a lot more easier. Like a P-51D Mustang and whatnot. Those are the only modifications I've done to this controller. Everything else is stock. Now, I don't know what will happen if I go to plug this controller in. I'll be finding out with you as I do this. So let's first make sure the mouse is working. There's the mouse. Let's plug in the flight stick. I can plug in my flight stick without a problem. Now, the problem with that is this flight stick isn't recognized in this game, so I really can't use it. But let's see what happens when I unplug. Okay, so let me get this straight, Microsoft, Sovo, whoever makes this game, devs. So let me get this straight. I can unplug that flight stick that is not recognized by the game. And the game works just fine and continues working. But the instant I plugged my Razer Mamba wireless into the computer to charge its battery, the game crashes. I can connect my Xbox One controller to my computer as the game is running, but if the battery dies and it disconnects, the game crashes also. Why is this a thing? Again, I plug the mouse in to charge, game crashes. I'm surprised at this point I'm surprised my whole computer doesn't burst into flames. This has to be the stupidest bug I've ever seen a video game have. Nice job. Really inconsistent, aren't we there, Microsoft? What a dumb bug.